It's the NFL on EA Sports, as we see the two teams who fought back in Super Bowl 18. Who knows what we're in store for here on Sunday night?
Just a little ways east from the nation's political arena, we're in a much different type of arena here. Northwest Stadium in Landover, Maryland. Hi there, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us. You picked a fun one to tune into. I'm Kate Scotch, joined by former NFL quarterback Brock Huard. And we've got two quarterbacks here, Brock, who are known for playing a very exciting brand of football. Not just throwing the rock, but taking it themselves, too.
Yep, these are two of the guys who really epitomize the direction that this position's going in the modern NFL.
Yep.
Pocket passers, they'll have their place. They always will. But a lot of teams look to somebody like this as a default. A great passer, but someone who can also mix in plenty of rushing yards and keep that defense honest.
Ball is teed up. Zane Gonzalez to do the honors. And we're off and running from Landover. This return starts at the 5. This return makes it up to the 25. So out head the Raiders for their first possession. They're led out by someone amidst their second act as an NFL QB. He was a second-rounder back in 2013, Geno Smith.
When Geno Smith won Comeback Player of the Year, it was really hard to find another comp. You know, the NFL, we love to always compare and contrast guys from different eras or project them moving forward. But there just were not many stories like Geno Smith, who just waited and persevered a decade in the NFL before he flourished. But what came to life finally was just the arm strength, the accuracy, the playmaking ability that was there at West Virginia, and it just took some time and maybe a little love from Pete Carroll at that time to really elevate his confidence and elevate his game.
They go play action. Here's Smith. That's taken in nicely by Brock Bowers. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They get 22 on that one. And that's good for a Raiders first.
You know what I like about that, Kate? I like that they're not coming out slow. They're willing to go with some looks here that will yield big yardage down the field instead of just settling for dinking and dunking the ball.
1st and 10, ball set up at the 48. Short side option here, he's running left. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that's a Vegas first down.
That right there, that will make the coaches happy. He didn't just get the first down, but got a healthy chunk of bonus yards afterwards.
They've got first down from the 31. A play fake, now Smith to throw. Caught, Trey Tucker makes the play. Big gain, 14 on the play. And that's good for a Raiders first.
That is what elite offenses are all about. Why worry about 3 downs when you need only 1? Move the chains in one play and keep driving that defense backwards.
First and 10 now. Here's Smith. And in for the touchdown. So a touchdown on the board for him, Brock, as they start this game off a perfect 1-for-1 offensively.
Yeah, I'm going to call that scripting for success right there. Can't do it much better than that. And listen, when you script these first plays, you don't always know who the targets are going to be. It's really then relying upon what the defense is trying to take away. But they couldn't take away that big old tight end.
Daniel Carlson on for the PAT. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Raiders will jump out to a 7-0 lead. So they tag him for roughing the kicker. And now this kickoff's going to come from the 50. Let's see if they loft it and try to stick him deep. Wilson all set now for the kickoff. And he got all of that one out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So the Commanders' offense headed out for their opening drive. They'll be led out by an elite runner, one of the game's top dual-threat young quarterbacks. He was taken second in 2024, Jaden Daniels.
Jaden's the closest thing we've seen to Lamar Jackson. And while there's only one Lamar Jackson, the two-time MVP, Jaden's going to push him a little bit in this league. He is a tremendous athlete. Over 1,000 yards rushing down the SEC, and he's just got the instincts, the feel to know when to run it. And, man, he can also sling it. A quick, compact, accurate release. I can't wait to watch this guy's skill set unfold in the NFL. Those unsung heroes, those big guys up front on the O-line, well, let's give them a little love right here, Kate. They don't always get the attention they deserve on a broadcast, but let me tell you, they played a huge role in that big old run.
Makes the grab in bounds left side. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. Give him 32 on that play. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
Now, right there, that's what you want to see on your opening drive. Boom! Connect on a big shot, and instantly you set a tone that you're not going to be afraid to be aggressive in this game today. Boy, do I love that.
What a spot for a big play, huh, Brock? It has him well into the red zone now with 1st and 10. From the red zone now. He's on the move. Now he takes it. Decent yardage picked up here before he slides down to avoid the tackle.
You know, Kate, back in the day, we had a slip and slide at practice for moments just like that. Actually practicing how to slide and get out of harm's way. Nice gain on the play, and denied that defense yet another chance to take a shot on him.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. First carry now for Austin Eckler. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I don't know about you, Kate, but he sure made getting that first down look really easy. A lot easier than it's supposed to be for that defense. And I think they'll hear about it when they get to the sidelines.
They've set themselves up well for an opening drive touchdown here, Brock. It's 1st and goal. They'll send him over right. Robinson goes up and over for the touchdown. The Commanders finish off their opening drive. No doubt about that one, Brock. They soften that defense up with that lengthy opening series, and then the front just couldn't stand up to the run as they reach the end zone.
Yeah, the numbers tell you, kind of just like baseball, you love home runs, you love explosive plays, but when you can play small ball and you can keep that defense gasping on the field, you can often run it right down their throats in the red zone.
Zane Gonzalez on for the point after try. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Commanders start off well to tie things 7-7. Now Gonzalez on to kick this one away. Starting from the 5. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. Now for the second time this game, we get a look at the Raiders' offense. They'll try to emphasize what worked on their last drive, which ended, Brock, in a touchdown. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. Blown back in the backfield, and he gets the handoff. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. And that one goes for a gain of 11. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
Okay, this is why coaches across all levels of football harp on the importance of good, fundamental tackling, not just to hear themselves talk. It's to make sure that when one of their guys has a chance to bring down a running back, they're able to do it and keep those plays from going any further.
Smith on 1st down. That one's caught along the left sideline. And he runs out of bounds at the opposing 45. They get 18 yards out of it and a new set of downs.
It was such a privilege for me to watch Marvin Harrison and Reggie Wayne in person in Indianapolis do their work. Darrell Jackson out in Seattle. They showed how great a deep out is as a chain-moving play. It's all about getting that leverage at the top of the route and then exploiting the leverage as that ball arrives on time downfield.
First down, Smith to throw. Completed to his running back. And he'll head out of bounds after a short gain.
Kate, I don't know why every once in a while I'll get these little flashbacks, but a little play like that just flashes me back to the preseason, my first preseason, when one of the veteran QBs said, hey, Brock, whatever you do, just find completions. You will never go broke taking a profit. Go get a completion. They're at a premium in this league.
Out of the shotgun, they'll give it to him inside. And they're on him after about a 2-yard gain. Brought down by the future Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner. A couple yards on the run. It's 3rd and 6 now.
When you don't have great success on first down, Kate, it's a little bit like a hitter in baseball falling behind in the count. And all you want to do as a hitter is get back to a fighting chance. Give yourself a better count. That play, well, it does the same here. Now a much more manageable and opportune 3rd down situation.
And that's going to be knocked away, incomplete.
I don't fault the look downfield at all. I mean, that was just a situation there where it's a better defensive play than the offense executing.
Now the Raiders readying for the punt, and they'll turn to former All-Pro A.J. Cole for the kick. And this looks like it got just inside the 20 as it flew out, and indeed it did. They're putting the ball at the 19-yard line. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And that tackle stops him after a solid gain. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
You gain that kind of yardage in the run game, and you're going to gain the trust of your offensive coordinator. Plays like that, runs like that, set the table for everything else in the playbook.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. From the 24. Has him on the quick hitter. And that's good yardage with a new set of downs.
Good offenses. Okay, good play callers know how to utilize their personnel. They know where they wanted them. They wanted them on a route in space where he could make that initial play comfortably, but then go to work after it.
First and 10 from the 41. From the gun, it's Daniels. Into the hands of Terry McLaurin. And he works this to the 38 before going down. It's a 21-yard gain. And the Commanders will have a first.
This entire play, Kate, depends on how well he can separate from his man. You get man-to-man coverage, it's really about 2 things: separation and trust. Because QBs want to throw it before he breaks. That's the trust. And then they got to believe that that separation can create the big play down the field.
And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. A big play, 23 yards to move those chains.
I love throwing on first down. And when you see a first down pass just like that, it's taking advantage of a matchup you planned for, and you go out and execute.
They send him left out of the slot. First and 10, a run to Robinson. And he'll get this inside the 10 to the 9. He managed 6 on the play, bringing up 2nd and 4.
That's a run that you'll take the result in the NFL every time. A nice play, a solid gain, but it's also a run that you know, and you may come back to, because if you were that close to breaking off an explosive one, you really break the backs of a defense.
They send Samuel Wright. On 2nd down, Robinson. And a bit of deja vu as they stop him at the line once again.
Stopped right at the line, but might as well have been a loss of yards as far as the offense is concerned. It's always humbling when you try force versus force, and the defense wins out.
Chance to move the chains here on 3rd and 4. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Complete beyond the marker. And he's brought down real close to that goal line at the 1. 9-yard pickup, and it sets him up with 1st and goal. That's the end of one. Both teams with a little luck finding the end zone early. Scoreboard showing 7s on each side. We're back to Northwest Stadium right after this. Commanders ball as we get back for the second, and they're thinking points. Robinson is across the line for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders take a second quarter lead. It's what every player who scores a touchdown wants to do, Brock. He wants to get right back there and put another 6 on the board.
I've never met an NFL player content with one end zone trip in a game.
Nope.
Yeah, if you're content, you're not making it to this league. You get one, you're instantly thinking of another, and the fortunate few are able to actually deliver on it.
Gonzalez now for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Commanders break that tie and now lead by 7. Now Gonzalez on to kick this one away. Tyreek McAllister now to return. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. The Vegas offense getting set for another drive now. They've got a chance to tie this up here as they trail 14-7. Out of the gun, they'll give it to him inside. And he drives this forward to the 26-yard line. Give him 4 that time, so 6 to go on second down.
You know, Kate, these are some of the little hidden plays in a game, right? Doesn't look like a whole lot on the stat sheet, but A, it gets you good yardage, B, it sets up your play action, and C, most importantly, keeps that defense guessing.
Another carry for him. And this almost ended worse, but he gets a yard out of it. Brought down by the future Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner. They pick up 1 on the run. Need more, though. That takes him to 3rd and 5.
Hey, we know running the ball in the NFL is hard, and that play pretty indicative of it. Here's the key, though. At the end of the game, those type of plays got to be in the minority, and the majority have got to do some damage.
Smith on 3rd and short. And there's a man there. It's intercepted. Quan Martin with the pick. And he takes this one back for the pick 6. But we all know getting the interception is the important thing, Brock. But how about this guy having the wherewithal to transition into a really nice return to then get the touchdown out of it, too?
Yeah, that's a great point. We talk about it with receivers, right? Getting vertical right away after making a catch. But same thing for these defenders when they make a pick. They secure the football, sure. But instantly they go back to their offensive days. They want that touchdown, and they want a moment they won't forget.
Gonzalez connects on the point after. And the Commanders double their lead to 14. Well, Brock, hopefully some short memories on offense as they get it right back here on the kickoff after that pick 6. McAllister now to return. And in the end, he's able to get it to what used to be a touchback. It's at the 25 after the return. The Raiders have their offense back out there. And they didn't have much time to recover from that pick 6. Need short memories here as they head back out. Handoff now out of the gun. And he'll get it up near the 38-yard line before going down. It's a 13-yard play, and that's enough for the first.
You call that first down running play. You don't always expect to get those kind of yards. But they'll take that every single time.
New set of downs for him at the 38. Going to the ground again on first. We'll have him gain about a handful there. Brought down by the future Hall of Famer, Bobby Wagner. Halfway there on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
A humble 5 to 6 yard gain on the ground. Not a huge gain, not a game-changing play by any means, but one that keeps you on schedule and takes some of the starch out of that front seven.
Back to the well again. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Well, looky here. You don't even have to worry now about a third down call as that run moves the sticks. Now that call you had ready, though, you can recycle it. Save it for later for that next third down coming.
All set up now for 1st and 10. They give it to him again. And he has enough room to gain about 4.
Well, I'll steal a line from one of my buddies, but I'm going to quote him. Mark Schlereth, 2-time Super Bowl winner, says if you want to run the ball, you got to keep running the ball. And that's a perfect example of it. Don't get tired. Don't get mad at gaining 4 yards. It's a run that can set up even more in the run game.
Back-to-back carries here. Doesn't get much beyond the line, a yard at most. Frankie Louvu there for the tackle. They pick up 1 on the run. Need more, though. That takes him to 3rd and 5.
Okay, that's a run that's ho-hum on the stat sheet, but if you see a bigger play on the ground later on, it'll largely be because of a play just like that one, softening up the front and opening the door for a bigger gap in the future.
That's caught for the first. And he reaches the 30 before going out of bounds. Give him 15 yards on the pickup there. And that's good for a Raiders first.
I may love watching a great thrower, but I love watching a well-done route too, Kate. Make that guy think you're trying to stack him only to drop your hips and cut right inside. Some good work to help reset those chains.
1st and 10 now from the 30. Shotgun snap to Smith. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And they have this down to the 11 before being marked down. It goes as a gain of 19 yards. And that's a Vegas 1st down.
Year after year, the best offenses are multifaceted. It's not just the receivers or the tight ends that can make plays through the air. When you get running backs that can attack the middle of the field like that, man, is it difficult on the defense.
He brings the offense up now for a 1st and 10. Lone back gets the handoff. Runs it in for the Las Vegas touchdown. The Raiders make it a 1-score game in the first half. So great work by the running back there, Brock. He saw a little bit of space, took advantage, and he took it all the way for 6.
So good, Kate. You'll hear running back coaches say this: slow to and then explode through. And that's exactly what he did. Slow to the hole, but explodes for the touchdown.
Carlson now to add 1 more. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Raiders chop the lead in half. It's down to 7. And just like that, we're back to a 1-possession ball game as the kickoff is away. Brings in the kick at the 9. And this will give them decent field position. The return gets out to the 30. The Commanders and Brian Robinson Jr. running back on now. And that lead they've got, Brock, they are never going to have to worry about losing it if they keep scoring every time they touch this football.
Is that how it works?
It surprisingly is. You know, if you have the lead and you don't lose it, you win.
And that type of start, well, you wanted all 17 games of a season, but you're lucky to get it more than once.
And he's going to bring it up to the 40-yard line before he stopped.
Kid, it just feels like any time this guy touches the ball, it's a big play waiting to happen. He could be lined up wide, or when they use him as a runner, if someone doesn't get a hand on him quick, he's gone.
Options are open here. It's 2nd and inches. McLaurin, the receiver, in motion left. A toss now to Robinson. And he'll get them enough for a 1st down.
A lot of times we will see defenses get so overcommitted to defending that inside run, they're vulnerable to the outside toss. And that's when things open up and you can reset those downs.
New slate of downs to approach here from the 40. That's McLaurin with a catch out left. That chunk worth a nice 21 yards. And that'll be good for a Washington first.
Man, I love that effort, adding as much as possible to that catch while earning the first down. That's called yards after catch, and it's what coaches want from all their pass catchers on the roster.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. He'll get this to Samuel. And he's able to drive this to the 29 before the stop.
That is the epitome of staying on schedule. That kind of completion right there on first down. Well, it opens up the entirety of the playbook for second down. And with third and short in your back pocket, you can get even more aggressive and take that shot.
Nice spot here for the offense. It's 2nd and 1. Play fake here. Daniels. That's complete to Zach Ertz. And they finally bring him down, but that is a big gain and a new set of downs. They rip off a big chunk of field, and it sets them up with 1st and goal. We've hit the 2-minute warning now from the nation's capital. The Commanders driving. This offense in position now. It's 1st and goal. Again, Daniels to the air. Into the end zone, but someone's able to knock it away. That's incomplete.
You know, down here in the red zone where there's a touchdown on the line, you really want to read the quarterback's eyes as a defender. Make sure you know where that throw is going and get in position to swat it away. That is well done.
So the incompletion on first. Here's 2nd and goal. Out of the gun, Daniels. And that is caught. It's a Washington touchdown. The Commanders grow their lead just before halftime. Deebo Samuel, the touchdown. Slant route, as it does so many times every game we call, Brock. Paying dividends. Made that touchdown look a lot easier than it was.
An uncontested release that close to the end zone spells disaster for a defense every time, Kate. You got to have a whole lot more physicality at the point of attack because a QB is always going to be looking for that short little slant near the goal line.
Gonzalez now for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Commanders double their lead to 14. Now Gonzalez on to kick this one away. McAllister now to return. And the return sets them up just beyond their own 20. The Raiders back out on offense. Their running back headed out once again. And the touchdowns got to keep coming from as they still trail here. Drive starts out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Smith. Complete here to Bowers. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a 1st down. They strike for 23 yards. And that's good for a Raiders first.
Every tight end worth his salt wanted this. Really craved man-to-man coverage. The best of them, give me man-to-man coverage, and I'm going to beat you. I was around Dallas Clark and Indy, one of the best. You play man-to-man, he's going to find a way to out-leverage you, separate from you, and make a play just as that tight end did. You know, that was almost a nice chunk play before he was able to recover and provide the hit that dislodges the football. You like to see that physical edge and scrappiness to contest any kind of shot plays deep.
2nd and 10. Again, it's Smith. He gets this one to Myers. And he's tackled after getting this to the opposing 46. Now we're going to get an offensive timeout. That's their first. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting that first. New set of downs for him from the 46. And again, it's Smith. Has it downfield working the left. And he'll be brought down at about the 29. That's 16 on the pickup. And that's a Vegas first down.
Well, that is pretty darn impeccable timing between the two. To hit a curl route of that length, it takes great anticipation and precision by the quarterback, and the receiver on the other end finishing it, doing his job.
That one's incomplete. Had the connection, but some stone hands got in the way there. He can't hang on to the pass. And now it's second down.
I'm not sure if he was hearing footsteps or he just had a surprise break in concentration. It's so unusual at this level to see a drop pass unless there's a hit involved.
Back to the air, it's Smith. Pocket isn't holding up, they're able to drop it. A timeout taken by Vegas, that's its second. And they still have one in their pocket for what's left of this half. Let's see what they went with on third down. A play fake, now Smith to throw. Throwing all the way to the end zone here. And disaster averted. He knocks away the deep ball, incomplete. Took his shot at 6 that time. So that brings up 4th and long.
Read and react, read and react, read and react. Got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going. And then you got to react as he begins to throw to get to a spot and knock it away.
And this kick is good. He needed to get all of it there, and he did. And that'll get him back to 11.
A lot of them may make it look automatic, but you get this deep, and those field goals are far from a certainty. It took all his concentration, every bit of his strength, to send that puppy through.
Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Return coming from the 6. And he's brought down just inside the 25 on the return. The Commanders ready to get their offense out there for the final time in the first half. And eventually, Brock, one of their drives is going to fail to reach that end zone, but through 3 possessions so far, they have been perfect.
Yeah, and in order for that to happen, somebody somewhere on this defense has got to rise to the occasion.
He gets it forward for a gain of 3. Elandon Roberts coming over for the hit.
Every once in a while, it's fine to be conservative on first down, especially when you get enough to stay on schedule and get a little something coming out of it, too.
It's halftime from near the nation's capital. The Commanders pulling in front after 2. Now down the coast we go to Orlando, Florida, in our studio there. Jonathan Coachman waiting by with the EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Kate, thanks very much. We'll let you and Brock catch your breath as we welcome the rest of you to our EA Sports Halftime Report. It was a solid first half of football for the Alabama man, Brian Robinson. He chipped in a couple of touchdown runs as he was running with determination right from the word go.
As always, a hat tip to Coach for his hard work during the break, as we're happy to welcome y'all back for the start of our third quarter. Has this at the 6. And pretty solid field position starting out here, Brock. He's tackled at the 29. Out comes the offense for Washington to begin the third quarter. And unsurprisingly, Brock, a great day on the scoreboard so far for him. Has him with the advantage as we move through this third quarter. Here's Robinson up the middle. And the defense gets there to force a small loss.
Well, he was supposed to be the one who chipped away a few and got a new set of downs started right in rhythm. Instead, he's now forced to pick himself from behind the line thanks to a great effort defensively.
Offense to the line for second down. Now Daniels off the play action. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop it. And that pushes them back. Third down coming up.
Yeah, let's give some credit to the defense here, Kate, right? We talk about explosive plays. Every offense is looking for them. But when a defense can go back-to-back, Jack, with a tackle for loss and a sack, well, they're more than doing their job.
So not an enviable spot here as they come up on third and very long. Daniels now. Into the hands of Samuel, complete. And he'll get it up to the 44. It's a 26-yard pickup there. And the Commanders will have a first.
You're not going to last long in the National Football League if you don't convert a good chunk of your third downs. Nice find there to continue the series.
From the 44-yard line now, 1st and 10. Daniels back to throw. Ertz reels it in. And nothing doing on that run. Defenders bottle it up quickly.
Defense all over that throw. You could just smell it. They just smelled that football coming their way, and that's as good as an incompletion. And they're going to be in a good spot. Second down coming up.
2nd and 10. Need to get some positive yardage here. They're going play action. He throws a bullet to this. He's got it inside the 25. He finds 37 yards on the play to move those chains.
You know, Kate, we often talk about flipping the field in special teams, right? A kick return, a good punt. Well, an explosive play like that does the exact same thing. Look at the difference in field position. By hitting on that shot, you've totally flipped the field and the tone of this drive.
That last shot took him right down to the front of the red zone. Here's 1st down. From the red zone now. That's going to be an incomplete pass on the throw to the right. That was intended for Deebo Samuel. And it sets up 2nd down.
Hey, I know nobody's perfect, and all you have to do is listen to me and how many words I screw up. But you certainly expect those throws of that length to be 100%. They've got to be borderline automatic in this offense.
Robinson on the inside give. And he'll have a short pickup down to the 17. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
You know, they got some positive yards. That's a good thing. But too many plays like that, it just is too hard to pile together, get first downs against the better defenses in this league.
Daniels throwing on 3rd. Catch is made in close. It's enough for a 1st down. Nice find by the rookie quarterback from LSU.
You know, they call that the money down for a reason, because you're just simply not going to last long in the NFL if you don't convert a good portion of your third downs. It's the money down. And nice to see them roll the dice and continue the series.
And he's in for the touchdown. The Commanders grow the lead coming out of halftime. Jaden Daniels with the touchdown. Wow, Brock, hard to imagine a more effective play in their entire playbook for that particular spot right there.
You know, you get in this red zone, Kate, you want the ball in the hands of the guys you do trust the most to score. In a lot of cases, well, you trust your quarterback, and all he did was add to that trust.
Gonzalez now for the extra point. The point after splits the uprights. And the Commanders push their lead to 18. Now Gonzalez on to kick this one away. McAllister now to return. And this return gets to the 30 before he stopped. The Raiders and this running back headed back out for a new series. And down double digits, Brock. Field goals like we saw on their last drive aren't going to move the needle as much as they need to. First down, Smith to throw. That one is incomplete. Couldn't hang on through the contact. Tried getting that one to Brock Bowers. And that'll bring up second down. Part of what's earned him status, Brock, is one of the league's better tight ends. Are those hands, right? His dependable hands. So shouts to the defense there because he wasn't able to hang on that time.
Kate, it's one thing for these defenders to separate a receiver from the ball, but to do so on a stud tight end, that's big time.
And he pushes forward, but they don't get much there. Give him 3 that time. That's going to bring up 3rd and 7.
You know, not a ton of yards, but still showing that commitment to the ground game. The type of run that keeps the defense from loading up in coverage and focusing entirely on that passing game.
Throwing on 3rd, Smith. He throws a bullet deep to the right side. And he's there to send that one away, incomplete. That one firmly denied by the man in coverage. And now they're up against it here on 4th down.
How many times do defenders hear from their coaches, read and react, read and react? You got to read where the quarterback's eyes are going, and then more importantly, you got to react as he begins to throw and knock that ball away.
Punter takes the field on 4th down, and he sends this one flying. And he's brought down before the return gets far. The Commanders and QB Jaden Daniels headed out for their next look on offense. And on that last drive, Brock, he crossed a notable threshold in passing yards for the season. Always nice when you can reach one of those plateaus to look back on after the year's over. Pocket isn't holding up. They're able to drop him. And the big play drives them backwards. 2nd down coming up.
The best defensive ends in the NFL, they don't need to win sustained battles to get home. Nope. Sometimes, Kate, all they need is one quick move, and they're into the backfield blowing it up.
All right, here we go. 2nd down. Trying again, following the sack. To the ground it goes. That's incomplete.
Boy, you certainly want those throws to be automatic. Every team, if you're going to be efficient, you got to hit those passes in the short to intermediate zone to effectively move the ball in this league.
Last pass unsuccessful, and they have 3rd down here. From the gun, it's Daniels. And oh, someone stepped in. It's intercepted. Jeremy Chin has got it. And the Raiders bring it all the way back inside the red zone before he's finally hauled down.
A lot of defenders got some offense in their background, and it's been my life experience that they'll tell you about it. And right there, he put it on display. He brought in the pick and instantly became a runner, searching for the open field to add a little something-something to the return.
Out comes Las Vegas on offense. And that interception has set them up beautifully inside the red zone. They're out and set, 1st and 10. A quick throw completed out to the left. And he'll go down. Looks like they're marking him at the 11.
Well, that's a pretty similar result to a 1st down run play. Moves it forward, keeps you on schedule, and makes 2nd and 3rd down a whole lot easier to manage.
Halfway to the marker, it's 2nd and 5. Here's the lone back on the handoff. And he only gets this one down to the 9. Only a yard on the pickup, so that's going to bring them to 3rd down and 3. Shotgun snap to Smith. He completes it in traffic. And he'll go down shy of the end zone. They mark him at the 4. It's a 6-yard gain. That sets up 1st and goal.
That's what we call situational football. You spend all week working on your nickel passing game package to take advantage of 3rd downs just like that.
They'll try and punch it in. And he gets a few on the plunge forward.
Hey, I get it on 1st and goal, right? A lot of teams like to be conservative and limit risk. Even if a run is stopped short, you still got 2, sometimes 3 downs to play with.
Now it's 2nd and goal from the 1. Out of the gun, here's Smith. And what a risk, but he can't hang on. No interception, but nearly a turnover in the end zone.
Oh, that was such an opportunity lost. They were looking for a way out without giving up any points on the series. And instead, oh, he just couldn't quite hang on.
On 3rd and goal, Smith. He stays up. We put way too much on that one, Brock. Over the end zone and out.
QBs, well, they're a lot like the great shooters in the NBA. Hey, listen, sometimes you're going to miss. You just got to shake it off and keep shooting away.
3 plays haven't gotten it done. Now a 4th to try to reach that end zone. Now Smith. And he will score. Touchdown, Las Vegas. The Raiders parlay the interception into points. Man, Brock, that defense held up 3 straight plays. They just couldn't come up with the one final stop they needed to get off the field.
And how about this offense? Courage of the offense to run it back for 1 more snap and make the adjustments on 4th and goal to finally punch it in. Quite the mini little chess match we just saw play out over those last 4 plays.
Carlson to tack on the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Raiders make it an 11-point ball game. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. Fielded at the 7. And a decent return ends as they bring him down inside the 30. Washington ready to go on offense as they take the field. They are coming off their first interception of the game. This drive now a chance to rebuild some confidence. They'll get this drive started. 1st and 10. Quick throw, right side, complete to start this drive. And he's out of bounds beyond the 35-yard line.
That is a textbook 1st down completion. Sets up 2nd and very manageable and creates space to take that shot downfield.
After a good pickup, they're set up with 2nd and short. Daniels from the pistol. Will get it complete to Brian Robinson Jr. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains.
I'm sure coach and play caller doesn't mind making the job a little bit easier. You know, play calling's a lot simpler and easier when you count on the offense to move the chains on those early downs.
They'll head up 1st and 10 from the 42. Shotgun snap to Daniels. Complete, it's McLaurin. And they push this down to the opposing 47-yard line. It's a pickup of 11. And that'll be good for a Washington 1st.
Move the chains! Gotta move them chains! Build momentum and keep that defense on its heels.
Football on that 47-yard line, 1st down. Now the shotgun give to Eckler. He's descended upon quickly and dropped after it looks like a yard gain. He landed Roberts coming over for the hit. Just a gain of 1, and that brings up 2nd and 9.
Okay, this is why you got to be careful to just run it always on 1st down. You got to break your tendencies. The casual fan, well, that casual fan knew what was coming, but more importantly, this defensive front did too.
Oh, he taps it quick to the receiver coming across here. Great run here. He's across the 35. Now after the run, we see some trainers headed out for an injured player who was shaken up. That's the end of the third on Sunday night. This one not out of reach quite yet, but it is a two-score game to begin the fourth. The drive picks up here, 1st and 10. From the gun, it's Robinson. And he's short of the first after a mild gain. Give him 5 on that carry, bringing up 2nd and 5.
Fans love the long ball in baseball. It's like they got the home run derby, but you know what? Talk to managers and they will tell you small ball can win too. Singles and doubles, you add them up, you could win a lot of baseball games. Football coaches will tell you get runs of that length. It may not be a home run, it may not score points, but it can do some serious damage.
He brings it in. And he takes this one down to the 10 before hitting that sideline. It's a 6-yard gain. That sets up 1st and goal.
That's just great instincts. Go air it out on 2nd down rather than just play conservative and run it. They hit a weak point in the coverage and don't need to worry about 3rd down at all.
Option play headed right on 1st and goal. And he's brought down, but there's some laundry on the field. Pretty easy call to make. He lined up offsides, and now he gets a talking to from his coach. A bit jumpy across the way there, and that halves the distance ahead of him on 1st down. Play fake here, Daniels. Too far out of the back of the end zone it goes, incomplete.
Everybody wants to play quarterback until a play like that. Almost no resistance off the ball and the defense ready to maul you. It was all he could do to get rid of it before he gets just clocked.
So after the incomplete pass, here's 2nd and goal. Shotgun snap, a give to Robinson. And he won't challenge for the goal line. The stop made at the 4. Only a yard on the game there, and now it's going to bring up 3rd and goal from the 4.
Well, you get a little bit closer, but you can feel the pressure starting to mount. Unless you're committed to playing 4 downs here, this becomes a critical 3rd down call. Daniels,
3rd and goal. And he will score. It's a Washington touchdown. The Commanders make it a 3-score game in the 4th. It's an Austin Eckler touchdown. They were throwing for it there, and they didn't care who knew about it, Brock. And it turns out, hey, nothing was going to stop him either.
Yeah, there's something about an empty formation. You are declaring to a defense, other than QB draw, this ball is going to be in the air. But at the same time, you also force the defense's hand. There's only so many coverages they can play, and they just exposed them.
Gonzalez now for the extra point. Extra point sent right down the middle. And the Commanders push their lead to 18. Now Gonzalez on to kick this one away. He fields it from the 8. And he's going to make this to the 28 before going down. The Raiders back on offense, led out by Geno Smith. And he has to be happy about his game. We're checking some of the highlights right now that he's made so far. A good showing that's seen him in the zone from time to time. And also he's just seen the field well from his spot in the middle of this offense. And the drive will start out with a 1st and 10. From the gun, Smith. just throws this one away. No dice on that prior pass. Here's second down. Back to the air. It's Smith. Give him 32 on the play. And that's good for Raiders first.
From a great throw to a nice route and catch to moving the chains, there wasn't a whole lot not to like about that amazing play.
First and 10 now. Here's Smith. Finds him over the middle. And they catch up to him, but not until he's got a huge gain and a first down. They got 24 yards on the play. And that's a Vegas first down.
I think my favorite part was the magic he worked after the catch. The way he took the completion and made so much more out of it by adding all the extra yardage.
On first down, they'll run. And that's good yardage there with a new set of downs to boot.
That's pretty good right there now. You don't always expect a sizable gain when you run it on first down. You just want some yards to set up an easier second down play. But they will take that execution every time.
They'll break the huddle and come up on first and goal. Throwing is Smith. Too much on that, and it sails through the end zone, incomplete.
Just something off in the rhythm of their passing game on that one. Time to recalibrate and keep throwing it to get back into rhythm.
So the incompletion on first, here's second and goal. They'll send him up the middle. And he hauls it across for the Las Vegas touchdown. The Raiders get it back to within 2 possessions. Well, a disappointing game elsewhere on this roster hasn't dampened his performance, partner. He's got a pair of touchdowns now to put up against that deficit.
You know what I call this, Kate? I call this professionalism, right?
Yeah.
It's used too much. Oh, what a pro. You got to be a pro. You got to play like a pro. No. It's a picture of it. No matter what the circumstances are, you don't stop.
Carlson now to add one more. The point after splits the uprights. And the Raiders make it an 11-point ball game. Carlson all set now for the kickoff. This return starts at the 5. He stopped on the return at the 27. The Commanders headed back out on offense. Their quarterback returning to the field now. And like we've seen from him before, Brock, he got a good game going early through the air and kept the pressure up from then on. He's still taking it to him now as we work through this second half. Drive begins with a run. It's Robinson. And he'll take this up to around the 29-yard line. Only 2 yards, and it brings up 2nd and 8. Now Daniels off the play action. Deep down the right sideline, it's his running back making the catch. An excellent gain, 20 yards there, and that's going to move the sticks.
They like to say it's about the Jimmies and the Joes. I think that's about the X's and the O's. That's a well-drawn-up completion that nets them a first down.
First and 10 from a yard shy of midfield. Out of the gun, Daniels. Flush down out to his left. He's on the move. And he takes it just inside the 40, down to the 39. They'll move the chains after that pickup of 12.
As long as these are the results he's getting, they're going to be just fine with him calling his own number. He does such a good job of seeing the field and knowing when it's his time to take it himself.
First down now, ball at the 39-yard line. This is Robinson. And they'll stop him, but not until he has a nice little gain down to the 32. It's a solid 70-yard pickup on first down. Now they're going to have 2nd and 3.
Well, that doesn't net a first down. You get yards like that in the run game, you will take it in the NFL.
2nd and 3 now. Another carry for Robinson. And he's tackled with the first down yardage.
Ooh, I like that. I really like that execution to move the chains. Now that third down call that they had ready, well, they could stick it right back in their pocket for a later occasion.
Offense set for a 1st and 10. Staying with Robinson. And this is run down into the red zone at the 19. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up 2nd and 6.
They'll come away happy getting that type of output on most run plays. It's a sign, well, they're getting some good push up front, and this running back is seeing the lanes and paying them off.
We've hit the 2-minute warning here in D.C. Commanders up by 11. 2nd and 6 coming up here. Handoff now out of the gun. And he's going to take it in for the Washington touchdown. The Commanders have likely locked up the win right there. Well, Brock, he found himself some space to work, and from there, wow, all athleticism as he made his way into the end zone.
You got that right, Kate. Just that speed. You got to have some different gear when you get down here to the red zone. It's hard to score rushing touchdowns, and that running back sees the open space, he sees the green grass, and he finishes it off with 6.
So we have a pause here inside 2 minutes. All reviews come from the booth, and they want to take one more look. Well, I certainly don't envy the officials here. A lot of times, Brock, it can be so tough to have the right angle to get a perfect spot on that football.
Yeah, how they do it, I just marvel at it. A bunch of years ago, I got to do and be an official, a side judge for a spring game.
How'd that go?
Not well, because things happen so fast, and I really do. I marvel at more often than not how good these officials are at spotting the ball.
So upon further review and a consultation from Game Day Central, the call overturned. And he gets in, touchdown! The Commanders make it a 3-score game in the 4th. So an exclamation point there. That caps off what, and I think you'd agree, Brock, has been a dominating performance.
Yeah, I would. Really in all phases, too. You know, I thought coming in that this would be a much closer game than how it's turned out to be. And you got to give credit where it's due. This offense has been outstanding throughout.
Gonzalez now for the extra point. Right down the middle, it's good. And the Commanders push their lead to 18. Now Gonzalez on to kick this one away. McAllister now to return. Coverage team gets him down at the 26-yard line. The visitors returning their offense and this running back to the field. And I think we can agree the plan to keep him out of the end zone, it hasn't quite worked so well for this defense, at least not yet. He scored twice, really been the one his group can turn to for a spark or a big play when they've needed it. Offense ready to begin this drive, 1st and 10. Smith in the pistol. Dump off caught by his back.
You know, Kate, it is so hard on these defenses to try to keep an eye and monitor on these running backs when they leave the backfield, especially if he's waiting to chip a defender or delays in the start of his route. He's really an underrated part of their overall passing game.
2nd down now, 7 to go. from the 28. He'll dump this one off to his running back, complete. And this one's brought to a halt at about the 36-yard line. Battle coming up on 3rd and inches. Smith back to throw. Complete beyond the marker. And he'll pick up enough to move the chains. A timeout taken by Vegas. That's its second. And they can take a moment to try to build more momentum after getting the first. Ball on the 45, 1st and 10. And again, it's Smith. This ball's cut by Bowers. And the defense is all over this one for a big loss. Now following that completion, we see a man shaken up. Officials calling for a pause as he gets looked at. Everyone's prepped. It's 2nd down now. Shotgun snap to Smith. Fits it through the middle. He has room past the 25. And he flips the field for them before being taken down.
So many cool fundamentals on display right there, Kate. Look the ball into your hands, number one. Don't turn your eyes away from it before it gets to you. And then when you've got that catch secured, snap that head forward and find that space upfield to turn a good play into a great play.
And the defender comes away with it. Quan Martin with the pick.
Not a lot of one-play swings bigger than that one right there. That throw looked destined for 6, and instead, it gets intercepted by the defense. The only way to get bigger is if he somehow returned it 100-plus yards for 6 the other way. But what a gigantic swing of emotion.
Out comes the Commander offense for another series. And taking a look at these highlights, Brock, just a reminder of the type of game that they have had throwing the football. It really has been the key to their success.
Yeah, they've just not only stayed on schedule here, Kate. Man, they've made some music, right? Great rhythm.
Yeah.
Not just ahead of schedule, but huge plays have followed. We've seen a lot of different looks and wrinkles throughout this performance, and it's been a joy to watch.
Your favorite formation, right, Brock? The victory formation here as he takes a knee.
Nothing left to do now, Kate, but celebrate on one side and watch on hopelessly from the other. What a hard-fought effort to get to this spot, and now you can enjoy the victory.
Lining up to take a knee on 2nd down. To score this as a win for the Commanders. And it was a game for fans of high-scoring football, wasn't it? I know Brock was enjoying seeing both of these offenses work, and really not a lot to dislike from either group. Just one side working at a slightly better clip than the other. That was the difference in the win. So for my partner, Brock Heward, and our entire crew, I'm Kate Scott, saying this has been the NFL on EA Sports. So long, everybody. It's a win for the Commanders. As with that, we sign off from D.C.